All right, let's talk about the open house. You've been to one, right? We all have. But today, we're going to look at it from a totally different angle. This isn't just about checking out a property. It's really a moment of truth where the entire real estate profession is on display, for better or for worse. And this quote right here, this is the heart of it all. Every single person who walks through that front door, yep, that includes you, is making a judgment. And it's not just about the paint colors or the size of the backyard. They're sizing up the agent, the whole process, and really the integrity of the industry itself. It's a live test happening in real time. You know, this analogy is just perfect. Think about it. You walk into a restaurant and before you even see a menu, you get a vibe, right? Is the host friendly? Does the place feel chaotic? That first impression sets the tone for everything. Well, it's the exact same thing here. You can have a stunning home, but a clumsy, unprofessional open house experience can ruin the whole thing. The agent, they're the front of house. So let's just call it what it is. Every open house is a live, unscripted test of an agent's competence and their professionalism. Yeah, there's absolutely nowhere to hide. In that moment, an agent's credibility is either being built up or torn down with every single interaction, every question they can or can't answer. You know, that confidence a buyer might have can start to crack before they even make it to the living room. So when does this test really kick off? Well, truth be told, it starts way before the first person ever steps through the door. Real professionalism, the kind that you can feel, it's all in the preparation. And we're talking about the details here, the things you might not even consciously notice, but you definitely feel. Are the signs outside clear, professional, and actually helpful? Is the home staged so it feels warm and welcoming when you walk in? Are the flyers and brochures up to date and well made? All these little things add up to create this powerful impression of competence and care. So what's the ultimate litmus test for being ready? It's this question right here. An agent should ask themselves this before they unlock the door. And if the answer is anything but a rock-solid yes, well, then they're not really ready. It's about holding yourself to the highest possible standard. Okay, so the doors are open. A visitor walks in. This is it. This is that critical window where a lasting impression is going to get locked in, for good or for bad. And right away, it can go one of two ways. The first is a genuine, welcoming experience, an invitation to come in and explore the home. The second, well, it's more like an ambush. It's when you're treated not like a guest, but like a sales lead that needs to be captured. And let's be honest, we've all felt this. When an agent shoves a sign-in sheet in your face before you can even take 2 steps inside, it just changes everything. The message is loud and clear: my data collection is more important than your experience. It suddenly feels like a transaction, not a welcome. All right, so you're inside. Now the agent's real job starts. And it's not just to stand in the corner. It's to be a resource, a guide who is both knowledgeable and, just as important, trustworthy. Now this is a big one. It's a huge integrity issue that happens all the time. See, the agent hosting the open house works for the seller. That's their client. But how many buyers walking in actually know that? If an agent doesn't make it clear who they represent, they're letting that buyer share information under a totally false sense of security. And here's why that conversation is so critical. That agent has what's called a fiduciary duty. It's a legal and ethical obligation to act in the seller's best interest. So, when a buyer casually asks, "So what's the lowest they'll take?" they're literally giving away their negotiation strategy to someone on the other team. That clarity isn't just nice to have. It's a non-negotiable part of being a professional. A truly prepared agent, they should be an encyclopedia on that property. They need to have the answers to these key questions, just ready to go without even blinking. Every time an agent says, I'll have to get back to you on that, a little piece of their credibility just chips away. And this quote just nails it. Knowing these details isn't about being impressive or going the extra mile. No way. It is the absolute bare minimum requirement for the job. It's the price of admission to call yourself a professional. And think about how the agent carries themselves. Are they moving through the house, pointing out features, answering questions, being present? Or are they just camped out at the kitchen island scrolling on their phone? One of those communicates competence and engagement. The other, it screams indifference. But you know, the test isn't over just because you've walked out the door. The follow-up is that last crucial piece of the puzzle. And frankly, it's where so many agents completely drop the ball. I mean, think about it. If you had a great conversation and really connected with the agent, and then 2 hours later you get a robotic, generic marketing email, it just shatters that entire connection. It feels fake. The follow-up has to be just as personal and professional as the visit was. It should continue the conversation, not just end it with a thud. So let's step back for a second and tie all of this together. Why are we saying a single open house carries so much weight? Why does this all matter so much? It's because for most people, this is one of the only times they get a raw, unfiltered look at how real estate professionals actually operate. So each open house isn't just selling a property, it is selling the value, the competence, and the very integrity of the entire industry to every single person who walks in. So in the end, it all boils down to this one question. For any agent out there, it's a challenge. And for the rest of us, it's a whole new lens to look through. The next time you walk into an open house, remember, you're not just looking at a home. You're watching a story about professionalism unfold right in front of you.